Hi everyone, my name is George Asian. It's great to be alive, great to be with you guys. I'm that coach that will show you a whole lot, that will give you value and help you learn a whole lot, in life, in your business. And I've been talking to us about sales. Last week we talked about sales. We started looking at sales. We talked about the difference between who a prospect is, who a customer is, who a non-customer is, and who a client is. I'm sure you followed that. If you didn't follow it, you can go on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel and click on the notification button or click on the subscribe button and you get updates on our videos. I have that video there on how to talk and get anybody to buy from you. So today we're going to be taking it a step further, how to raise funds. Funding is a very major part of your business. If you don't know how to raise funds, money is a major part of your business. So we're looking at funding, raising funds, strategically raising funds, creatively raising funds for that project, for that business. All right, but before we can start talking about fundraising, we need to understand certain concept. And that concept, I want you to write down. If you're taking down notes, it's important you take down notes when you learn, because that literally helps you remember it. Because when you go over that message subsequently, it really gives you an understanding of it. So the first thing I want to write down is the term value. Now, value can be a noun, value can be an adjective, value can be a verb, value can be an adverb. Now, so value is anyone or anything that you do or any person who makes life easier. When you make life easier, when you solve a problem, when you create solutions, when you save somebody time, energy, and money, or what you do save somebody time, energy, and money, when you give people entertainment, utility, when you are able to solve problems, make things come faster, or the service that you render brings faster results, better results, delivers on time, saves energy, saves money. That is what value really is all about. So one of the things you want to start thinking in terms of is to start thinking in terms of value. So choose to be a man of value. Don't pursue money. If you're truly valuable, if you are value personified, if you are the noun we call value, you would attract success. You would attract the resources you're looking for. You will attract so much resources. So that's what value is. And one of the beautiful things you must understand about value is that you can create value and you can also add value. How do you create value? Anyone who creates value is an inventor. And I must give kudos to a lot of people out there. When you come up with such ideas, you come up with an idea that's probably not existed before, a write-up, a masterpiece, a painting, a project, an NGO, a business concept that's never existed before. Facebook is not just an innovation. Facebook is an invention of a very brilliant mind. And there are lots of people out there who have concepts, who have software, mobile apps they want to create. That is invention. So you can create value. When you create something, you start a business, you pioneer a work, that is being valuable. That is, that's being an inventor. Now, you can also add value. There are people who literally add value. What does it mean to add value? To add value means to look at an already existing project, business, concept, and make it better. When you improve on something, when you make something better, you become innovative. So innovation is like making things better, making a system better, making a project better. So you can either be an inventor or an innovator. When you are an inventor and innovator, you are valuable. So you can create value or you can also add value. Now, how does this relate to raising money? Money gravitates towards value. Money gravitates towards value. If there is no value to be exchanged, there is no money to be made. If there's no value to be exchanged, there is no money to be made. If there's no value to be exchanged, there's no money to be raised. Before a person will part away with money, he must consider that whatever you are presenting is valuable. How do you basically raise money? For those who are entrepreneurs, you raise money from customers, and by the way, you can do that. We call it pre-order. a lot of digital marketers and internet marketers understand the concept of pre-ordering. That is creating a product, a solution, an information product, software, an app, whatever it is, creating a product, and then getting the customers to pre-order. Now, okay, what that means is that you've not created enough of the product, or you've not even created the product already. You're only pitching to them, you're pitching a copy, you're pitching to them and telling them, guys, this is what this will solve for you, but I need you to give me money ahead of time. And so they give you money ahead of time. You now go create a product and give to them. So we call it pre-order, and a lot of people use that approach in selling a whole lot. And that's a fantastic way to raise money. You tell people, okay, I have this offer, this great product. Give me money ahead of time, and I'll deliver it to you. If you give me money ahead of time, I'll give you at a discount. Let's say you're trying to sell a book, and then you tell them, this book is supposed to cost 5,000 naira. But people can pre-order. You can pre-order it, and then when it's launched a month from now, you instead of paying 5,000 naira, you can pay 2,000 naira. You receive the product at 2K instead of 5,000 naira. That way you can get people to give you money. So the customer now sees the bonus as value. The customer also sees the products that you're creating and you're offering also as value. So think in terms of value, and you raise money quickly. Another way another set of persons you can raise money from are from investors. And we have different kinds of investors. For example, we have people we call the angel financiers. Who are the angel financiers? Angel financiers are people who have resources that they want to give as grants. They want to give without any expectation of resources. And there are people out there who have a lot of money. There are donor agencies who have a lot of money who want to give you for your project, want to give you for your ideas. But of course, they need to perceive that whatever ideas you have is valuable enough for them. All right. So we have angel financiers who give without any expectation of returns. We have another set of investors called venture capitalists. Who is a venture capitalist? A venture capitalist is somebody who has resources and who is looking for an entrepreneur to give money, but he wants to have a stake. He wants to have equity in that business. He wants to have a stake. He wants to have a shareholding. He will give him resources, but he's expecting you to talk in terms of equity. I want to have a stake in your business. And we have a lot of venture capitalists. I do know that Strive Masinyiwa, amazing entrepreneur, great man by the way, he's done a lot of venture capitalism, helped a lot of startups in America, that is in Silicon Valley, for the techpreneurs. We have a lot of startups who enjoy venture capitalist opportunities, monies from those people. So even in Nigeria, we have organizations like the Tony Elumelu Foundation is actually a venture capitalist business. They give a seed capital of $1,000 to a few people or more, $1,500. Sorry, is it $5,000? I can't really place it, but they give money, seed capital. But they also look out for quality business that have good ideas, and they find a way to have equity, or what some people call equity in that business, a stake in the business. These guys are called venture capitalists, and there are venture capitalists everywhere. All right, so we have venture capitalists, we have angel financiers, we also have other kinds of investors. We have people, boards of directors, who are members of the board of directors. Now, in setting up your business, one of the things you want to do is find a way to create a board, to have a board. The fastest way to raise money is to have a board. Get people to join your board. If you're going to the Corporate Affairs Commission to set up your business, create a business that has a board of directors. The board of directors usually have a stake, vested interest in that business, so they raise money, they give you money for that. So most traditional businesses have boards of directors. But if you're running a foundation or an NGO, then you don't need to have a board. You probably will need to have what's called a board of trustees. So board of directors are for businesses, and then board of trustees are for NGOs. So for my NGO, I have a board of trustees, And then for my business I also run, I have board of directors. These guys have stakes. They can raise money for you. For anybody to join as a member of your board, for anybody to be part of your board of trustees, they need to know that whatever you're presenting, whatever business or project you're putting is valuable to them, or is valuable both to the community, both to the customers, and to them. All right, so what is in it for the investor? What's in it? Why should they partner with you? Why should they do any business with you? So let me not digress from my thought. The point is, there are two kinds of people that will give you money: your customers, which you can get through pre-order; the other set of other people, persons you can get money from, are investors. And I listed out a few investors that can give you money, but they think in terms of value. They think in terms of value. So value is important. Think value exchange. What do I have in my hands that the customer needs? What do I have in my hands that partner, that financial partner can give to me, that venture capitalist can give to me, that angel financier can give to me? What project? And then what's in it for them? A lot of ideas that we have are selfish, about what we want to do, what we want to achieve, how we want to make some money, and all that. And the investor craves for information. He's craving for information, and he's finding out that whatever idea you have, whatever solution, whatever value you're bringing in, it's all about you. As long as your business is all about you, you won't raise money. But if you truly want to raise money, you have to start thinking in terms of them. Okay, so there should be a win-win situation. I'm ultimately going to benefit from this, all right? But so how will the board of directors, how will the board of trustees, how will the customer, and how will the angel financier benefit from this project I'm doing? If you think that way, you are going to really start raising money almost in an instant. So we talked about value exchange. Think in terms of value exchange. What value am I bringing to the table? There was an old model called the Barter model, Barter. What does it simply mean? It means exchanging value. Back in the years, close to 1,000 years or more than 1,000 years, maybe 3,000, 4,000 years ago, there was nothing called money. No money. Money wasn't a coin or a piece of paper. Money was value exchange. So I had Gary, and then you had yam. Okay, I wanted yam and you wanted Gary. So I have to look for somebody who wants Gary because I have Gary. And then as I look for the person, when I identify the person, we exchange. But I must also want yam. All right, I want yam. So that's how that was. Of course, that was quite difficult because the system, you have to have something that somebody has, the person has to have something that you need or something that you have, so that exchange can occur. And that was why it was quite difficult. And that's why they came up with the coin and the paper. But the barter system still works today. The barter system still works today. All right, so if you want to raise money for your business, for your product, look out for people you can barter, people that need. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, close to 10 years ago, I needed airtime on a radio station. And as at that time, they knew that I had so much capacity in sales training. I could teach them sales. I could teach them how to pitch, how to present. And so when I went to them, I told them I wanted airtime for a quarter, and the goal was to pitch businesses and products I already had. So they said, okay, they gave me a figure, and the figure was quite huge. All right, so I told them, you know what, I'm going to pay you by giving my service as a barter. I know that you have salespeople who are Google out there to the marketplace looking for, adverts and so on. So I'm going to teach them and train them for 7 days stretch, morning, afternoon, evening. And then whatever I'm giving to them as value, I suppose that it should be worth as much time you give me, the airtime I'll be having. And for, after negotiating, we agreed. And so I did my training. I bought in training. I give them, my trainings on sales are quite very, very elaborate and very extensive and very intensive. I got so much value and I got airtime. So I was able to barter, I also did that for an event a few years ago. That was also 8 years ago, when I needed to get a big facility. I didn't have the resources to pay for the facility, so I told them, give me your venue and I'll train your staff. So start thinking in terms of barter. What value do you have that you can exchange for what you want? What value do you have that you can give to somebody for what you want? For some of you, what you have a network. I was reading something on the internet the other day, and the person said something very valuable. He said it's not about money. Money comes and goes. You don't need to think. It's not about what you have in your bank account. It's about your network. If you look at your phone number, what contacts do you have? What's the quality of your contact, the quality of your network? And that struck a chord in me, because true wealth is about the contact you have. Your friends determines your funds. Your network determines your net worth. Who can you call today and he'll respond to you? How much can you raise and how quickly in your contact? So for some of you, you may not have the resources you're looking for, but you have contact, and there are other people who are looking for access to your contact. If a person is looking for access to your contact, then you have a platform for exchange of value. You can give them access to your contact and they give you the resources you're looking for. Some of you have huge following. I mean, that's how it works on the internet. You already have a huge following. You have people who follow you and who engage with you, on the internet. Some big organizations looking for that's access to your contacts in return for a token, what we call adverts. So think in terms of barter. What do you have? Maybe you have contacts. What do you have already that you can exchange? So when you have information, quality information that people need, solutions. I mean, info products, you already have them. I used to have this friend. I used to my friend do, but I mean, we're not spoken in a while. And this guy had terabytes. I'm talking about terabytes of quality videos that I need. Quality videos of Tony Robbins, of Brand Tracy, videos of different seminars, paid seminars. However he got these videos, I don't know. Some of them he bought them, but he had loads of them. And for whatever reason, he wasn't able to make money from that. He wasn't selling them, and he wasn't even listening to them or watching them, but he was just getting piles of these videos. And I met him and I told him, you know what, guy? Let me pay you a certain amount of money. I know you need this information. So he needed to learn a certain skill from me. And so he said he didn't want money from me. What he wanted was for me to show him that particular skill. So we exchanged, we did a barter. I gave him that skill, I showed him how to get that skill, and he gave me those resources. And I tell you, it took me, and I'm not exaggerating, it took me 5 years. 5 years of daily watching and listening to those materials. They really, really helped me, especially those ones from Tony Robbins. So what do you have that people need that you can exchange? Think in terms of value exchange. Think in terms of barter, and you will not lack money for any product you're doing. Now, I want to leave you with this last line of thoughts, and it is that people, you need to start building your community. You need to think in terms of community building. The world is social. Yeah, the world is going social. The world is going social media. The world has gone digital. You need to start building your community and start thinking in terms of community, because at the end of the day, the people who will truly help you are members of your community. Start building your tribe. Start thinking of building a community around the projects you're doing, because people support what they help, what they are part of. When people have that sense of camaraderie, people have that sense of belonging, they will support what they are part of. So I encourage you to start thinking in terms of community. Start thinking of creating online groups, start creating WhatsApp groups, start giving value to people. And one of the things we do regularly is that we have contacts of people who believe in us, who follow us because of the immense value that we have. A few days ago, someone reached out to me and he was like, George, I've attended almost all your WhatsApp trainings and your online trainings, and I must say that you give so much value. And I was really excited. You give so much value. And then we negotiated a deal that was running 2 million. Now, I'd given this value for free at the beginning, and I've been giving a lot of free value, but it was so much that this guy now said, let's do this $1 million deal. And it was so powerful. So I encourage you to think in terms of value, because value can be a noun, All right, that's you being a person of value by developing skill sets, by developing skills and having quality ideas. Value can be a verb, an action word, and an adverb can be an adjective, can be a description. Start thinking in terms of value. Start thinking of how to extend, because you don't pursue success. You become a person of value, and if you become a person of value, you'll attract the success you're looking for. I hope you got value today. I'll see you some other time. God bless.